Hello and welcome to this Fallout 4 settlement tour. This is XtremeWackazoid and today we are looking at Sunshine Tidings Co-op. This is on the PS4. I'm using a number of mods which are listed below. And with Sunshine Tidings Co-op I've built here a few times, and if you are familiar with the space, there's a number of burnt out houses that kind of go along the edge of the build area. And decided this time around that I would just go nuts with scrap that settlement and get rid of all of them and build from scratch pretty much. And so maybe this will give you a few ideas of what you can do with the space. And I have laser turrets here and minigun turrets that are on top of these ball track supports with a wooden platform, and I raise them up high so that they're free from melee attackers. Put a manual water pump here next to this water tower. I'm pretty sure I built that water tower, and to kind of go along with those other silos. One of the first things I decide is where I'm going to put my power source. I typically build it up high and I definitely protect it, so my power source is in there, and I always put a barrier around it because attackers will definitely target your power source. Growing mute fruit, it's the most efficient food to grow. It's one food per plant. And with this structure, I scrapped the house that was here, but this door could not be scrapped, so I had this red door just floating in space. And so I said, well, that's a fun challenge, and so I built around the floating red door, and so it does actually work, I hope. Yes, it does. And it goes into with this frame. And so what I decided to do here was to put my restroom area. So it's a lot of wood, a lot of metal. And so this is kind of like a barrack style latrine with some showers and some toilets. And it's all lit up here as well with sinks and a water fountain also. And inside here is a barrack style residence, so there's a bunch of beds and some lockers going along here. And what I did here was I actually put in some wood warehouse foundations, and I patched up some of the walls of warehouse walls so that it would all fit inside. And it's not necessary, but I did just kind of want to do it just for the challenge of it, of having the floors kind of match up all the way across and then all the way across there again. In here is a barn, and what I did here was put my vendor stands, and so I put these tier 3 vendor stands. I like to place items in the shelves so it looks like they're actually selling something. With a clinic vendor, I give them a lab coat so it looks like they're a real doctor, and I have a gurney and a wheelchair. And with the shelving, what I do is I build the shelf out into like some empty space, and then I raise and lower the shelf with a concrete pillar, select all trick, and place items with the OCDecorator mod, and then bring the shelf back inside. So with the clothing vendor, I put clothing on top of these armor stands so it looks like they're actually selling some clothing, and with the vendor stands there's some shelving there with some junk also. And in here, what was original was this little shack, and so what I wanted to do was build around this shack so it looks like it would be hard to tell where the original shack ended and where my structure began. If you've seen in my other videos, it's kind of a theme of what I like to do, and I did a pretty good job of just matching up the edges here. And so what I have inside is a restaurant, and so that shack is sort of like a restaurant shack. And so I like to build a restaurant because settlers will come and congregate here after a day's work, and they'll line up and they'll come and sit at these picnic tables, and it looks like they're eating food. And I put some ceiling fan lighting in here, and so I like it to have a look of a functioning restaurant. So there's a cabinetry, a fridge, an oven, and things of that nature. So hopefully this will give you a few ideas of what you can do with the space. If you like what you see, hit like, and you can subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you.